The Now Habit by Neil Fiore is a groundbreaking book that uncovers the hidden causes of procrastination and provides powerful strategies to overcome it. Unlike traditional methods that rely on sheer willpower and discipline, this book takes a deeper psychological approach. It helps you understand how perfectionism, fear of failure, and self-doubt silently push you into the habit of delaying tasks. But here's the truth: procrastination isn't just laziness. It's a coping mechanism, a way our mind protects us from stress, pressure, or the fear of not being good enough. Have you ever felt stuck, staring at your to-do list, knowing exactly what needs to be done, yet unable to take action? That's where the Now Habit comes in. It offers a fresh, liberating approach, one that shifts you from guilt-driven productivity to a positive, stress-free workflow. One of its most powerful tools is the unschedule. Instead of filling your calendar with tasks, you start by scheduling guilt-free leisure, breaks, and fun activities. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But here's the magic. When work becomes something that fits around your free time, instead of the other way around, it feels effortless. And then there's three-dimensional thinking, a method that helps you break work into small, manageable steps, making even the most daunting projects feel easy. Welcome to Audiobook World. Here, we bring you the wisdom of the world's best books in a way that's simple, engaging, and easy to absorb. Our goal? To help you transform your mindset, your habits, and your life. In this summary of the Now Habit, you'll discover life-changing insights that will help you break free from procrastination, boost your productivity, and take control of your time like never before. So, are you ready? Let's dive in. Chapter 1: Understanding Procrastination, It's Not Laziness. Have you ever told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," only to repeat the same cycle again and again? You are not alone. In the first chapter of the Now Habit, Neil Fiore explains a powerful truth: procrastination is not about laziness. It's actually a coping mechanism, a way our mind deals with stress, fear, and self-doubt. Many of us think that if we procrastinate, it's because we lack discipline. But that's not the case. Procrastination is deeply connected to perfectionism, fear of failure, and even fear of success. When we feel overwhelmed by expectations or afraid that our work won't be good enough, we delay getting started. Think about it: when was the last time you procrastinated? Was it because you were lazy? Or was it because you felt pressure, stress, or maybe even boredom? Fiore argues that people procrastinate not because they are lazy, but because they are trying to protect themselves from negative emotions. The hidden causes of procrastination. 1. Fear of failure. What if I mess up? What if my work isn't perfect? These thoughts can make us so anxious that we avoid the task altogether. 2. Fear of success. Yes, you heard that right. Some people fear that if they succeed, expectations will rise, and they'll have to work even harder. 3. Rebellion against authority. If someone forces you to do something, you might resist it, even if it's something good for you. This subconscious rebellion often leads to procrastination. 4. The pressure of perfectionism. I need to do this perfectly, or not at all. This all-or-nothing thinking creates so much stress that starting the task feels impossible. 5. Lack of motivation. Let's be honest, some tasks just feel boring. When a task isn't exciting or rewarding, our brain naturally avoids it. Breaking free from the cycle, the good news is, procrastination is a habit. And just like any habit, it can be changed. Instead of fighting against it with guilt and self-blame, Fiore suggests a new approach, one based on self-compassion, positive motivation, and smarter work strategies. In the next chapters, we'll explore how to rewire your mindset, build a healthy relationship with work, and use powerful tools like the unschedule to overcome procrastination effortlessly. So, are you ready to break free from the cycle of delay? Let's move forward and discover how to make productivity easy and enjoyable. Chapter 2: Replacing Guilt with Confidence, the Power of a Positive Mindset. Have you ever noticed how guilt and self-criticism make procrastination worse? You tell yourself, "I should have started earlier. I always mess up," and suddenly, instead of working, you feel even more stressed. In Chapter 2 of the Now Habit, Neil Fiore explains why guilt and pressure keep us stuck and how shifting to a positive mindset can help us break free. Why guilt doesn't work? Many people believe that feeling guilty about procrastination will somehow motivate them to work. But the truth is, guilt makes you feel worse, which leads to more avoidance. It creates a negative cycle. Step 1. You delay a task. Step 2. You feel guilty and criticize yourself. Step 3. Guilt makes the task feel even heavier, so you avoid it even more. This cycle keeps repeating, and before you know it, deadlines are closing in, stress levels are rising, and productivity is nowhere to be found. So, what's the solution? Self-compassion and confidence. Shifting from guilt to confidence. Fiore suggests a powerful mindset shift. Instead of saying, "I have to do this," say, "I choose to do this." This small change makes a huge difference. When you feel forced, your brain naturally resists. But when you see work as a choice, it feels empowering. Instead of, "I have to finish this report," say, "I choose to work on this report because it will help me grow." Instead of, "I must study tonight," say, "I want to study tonight so I can achieve my goals." The power of small wins. Another key idea in this chapter is building confidence through small wins. If a task feels overwhelming, your brain sees it as a threat. That's why starting feels so hard. The trick? Break it down into tiny, manageable steps. Instead of, "I have to write a full report," start with, "I'll write just one sentence." Instead of, "I have to finish studying this chapter," start with, "I'll read just one paragraph." Once you start, your brain realizes the task isn't as scary as it seemed. Momentum builds, and suddenly, you are making progress effortlessly. The language of success. Fiore also emphasizes the importance of the words we use. Negative self-talk makes work feel like a burden, while positive language makes it feel rewarding. Try these shifts. "I have to do this." "I get to do this." "I should work on this." "I want to work on this." "I need to finish everything." "I'll do just a little and see where it goes." By changing your mindset, using positive language, and focusing on small wins, you'll replace procrastination with confidence and ease. What's next? Now that you understand how guilt and pressure fuel procrastination, it's time to learn how to structure your time for success. In the next chapter, we'll explore the Unschedule, a revolutionary tool that makes productivity feel effortless. So, are you ready to change the way you work? Let's move forward. Chapter 3, The Unschedule, a new way to plan your time. Do you ever feel like no matter how much you plan, you still end up procrastinating? You create a to-do list, promise yourself you'll start early, but somehow, distractions take over. In Chapter 3 of the Now Habit, Neil Fiore introduces a powerful strategy, the Unschedule. Unlike traditional schedules that focus on work, the Unschedule flips the process. Instead of planning tasks first, you start by scheduling fun, breaks, and guilt-free leisure time. Sounds strange? Let's see why this method works. Why traditional schedules fail. Most people create schedules by listing everything they should do. But this approach has two major problems. 1. It triggers resistance. The moment your brain sees a packed schedule filled with work, it starts looking for an escape. 2. It ignores real-life interruptions. Unexpected calls, fatigue, or just feeling unmotivated can derail even the best plans. The result? You don't follow the schedule, then feel guilty, and procrastinate even more. What is the Unschedule? The Unschedule is a reverse approach to scheduling. Instead of filling your calendar with work, you start by blocking out time for rest, fun, and activities you enjoy. Schedule exercise, meals, social time, and hobbies first. Then, add fixed commitments like meetings or appointments. Finally, leave small open spaces for work, just 30 minutes at a time. By prioritizing fun first, work no longer feels like a burden. It becomes something that naturally fits into your life. Why the unscheduled works? 1. It removes pressure. Instead of feeling like you have to work, you get small, flexible time slots that make work feel manageable. 2. It makes work rewarding. When your day is already filled with enjoyable activities, work becomes a small part of the bigger picture. 3. It prevents burnout. Since rest and fun are built into your schedule, you avoid exhaustion and stay motivated. The 30-minute rule. One of the key ideas in the unschedule is to work in small bursts of 30 minutes. Instead of saying, I'll work for 3 hours, start by committing to just 30 minutes. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Work with full focus, no distractions. When the timer ends, take a break or do something fun. By working in short, guilt-free sessions, you build momentum without feeling overwhelmed. Tracking your wins. Fiore also recommends keeping a success record. Instead of focusing on what you haven't done, keep track of what you have done. At the end of each day, write down how many 30-minute sessions you completed, what small progress you made, any distractions you avoided. By celebrating small wins, you build confidence and train your brain to enjoy working. What's next? Now that you know how to create an unschedule, the next step is to eliminate distractions and stay focused. In the next chapter, we'll explore powerful techniques to beat procrastination once and for all. So, are you ready to schedule less and achieve more? Let's move forward. Chapter 4: Overcoming Procrastination: How to Take Action Now. You know the feeling. You have an important task to do, but somehow, you just can't get yourself to start. You check your phone, scroll through social media, clean your desk, anything but the actual work. In Chapter 4 of the Now Habit, Neil Fiore reveals why we procrastinate and how to break free from it, starting today. Why do we procrastinate? Procrastination isn't just laziness, it's a response to stress, fear, and pressure. Our brain sees the task as overwhelming or unpleasant, so it pushes us toward easier, more enjoyable activities instead. Fiore explains that procrastination is often caused by fear of failure. What if I try and it's not good enough? Perfectionism. I can't start until I know I'll do it perfectly. Fear of success. What if I finish and people expect even more from me? Feeling overwhelmed. This is too big. I don't even know where to start. The more pressure we put on ourselves, the harder it is to take action. The solution? Just start, but in a new way. Fiore introduces a powerful mindset shift. Instead of thinking about finishing a task, focus on just starting it. The hardest part is always getting started. Try the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself you'll work for just 5 minutes. Once you start, you'll often keep going. This trick works because your brain stops seeing the task as overwhelming. Instead of thinking, I have to finish everything, you think, I'm just starting, no pressure. Focus on the process, not the result. One of the biggest reasons we procrastinate is that we focus too much on the final outcome. The key is to shift your focus to the process, not the result. Instead of thinking, I have to write a perfect report, say, I'll just write one rough paragraph. Instead of, I must study this entire chapter, say, I'll read for just 10 minutes. By focusing on small actions, you remove the pressure, and productivity flows naturally. Use the 3-dimensional thinking method. Fiore introduces 3-dimensional thinking to help reframe your tasks. 1. Think about the past. Remind yourself of times when you've succeeded before. This builds confidence. 2. Think about the present. Focus only on the next small step. Forget about the final outcome. 3. Think about the future. Imagine the relief and satisfaction you'll feel once you've started. This method helps shift your mindset from stress to motivation. Train your brain with small wins. Your brain loves rewards. Every time you complete even a small task, celebrate the win. This builds momentum and makes work feel satisfying instead of stressful. Try this. After working for 30 minutes, take a short break and enjoy something you love. After finishing a small task, say to yourself, good job. I did it. At the end of the day, review your progress instead of focusing on what's left to do. By reinforcing success, your brain starts associating work with positive feelings instead of stress. What's next? Now that you know how to overcome procrastination, the next step is to build unstoppable momentum. In the next chapter, we'll learn how to turn productivity into a habit, so you never fall back into old patterns again. So, are you ready to take action now? Let's go! Chapter 5: Building the Habit of Productivity: How to Keep Moving Forward. You've learned how to overcome procrastination, but how do you stay productive consistently? In Chapter 5 of the Now Habit, Neil Fiore teaches how to turn productivity into a habit so that work feels natural and effortless. Why do we struggle to stay consistent? Many people start strong, but after a few days, motivation fades and old habits return. This happens because we rely too much on willpower, and willpower is limited. We expect perfection, and when we slip, we feel discouraged. We don't track progress, so we don't see how far we've come. The solution? Create a system that makes productivity automatic. Step 1. Use small, consistent actions. Instead of trying to be perfect, focus on showing up every day, just a little. Write for 10 minutes. Read just one page. Study for 15 minutes. Exercise for 5 minutes. These small actions build momentum. And once you start, you'll often want to continue. Step 2. Reward yourself for progress. Fiore explains that our brain needs rewards to reinforce new habits. So instead of waiting until a task is fully done, celebrate small wins. Finished 30 minutes of focused work? Take a guilt-free break. Completed a difficult task? Treat yourself to something enjoyable. Made progress today? Write it down and acknowledge it. When work feels rewarding, your brain naturally wants to keep going. Step 3. Reduce resistance with the Start Easy rule. Many people avoid work because it feels difficult. The trick? Make it as easy as possible to start. Instead of write an essay, say just write one sentence. Instead of clean the whole house, say just pick up 5 things. Instead of exercise for an hour, say just do one push-up. Once you start, it's much easier to continue. Step 4. Track your streak. One of the best ways to stay productive is to track your daily progress. Use a simple calendar. Every day you work, mark an X on the calendar. Try not to break the streak. This visual progress keeps you motivated because you don't want to lose your momentum. Step 5. Use positive self-talk. Your mindset is everything. Instead of saying, I have to do this, say, I choose to do this. I must finish everything. Say, I'll just do a little. I'm not good at this. Say, I'm getting better every day. The way you talk to yourself shapes your actions. What's next? Now that you know how to build the habit of productivity, the next step is to eliminate distractions and master deep focus. In the next chapter, we'll explore powerful techniques to help you work smarter, not harder. So, are you ready to stay productive for life? Let's go! Chapter 6: Mastering Deep Focus: How to Work Smarter, Not Harder. You sit down to work, but within minutes, distractions take over. Your phone buzzes, emails pile up, and suddenly, you've lost an hour doing nothing important. In Chapter 6 of the Now Habit, Neil Fiore teaches how to develop deep focus so you can get more done in less time. Why do we struggle to focus? Fiore explains that distractions aren't just external, they're also internal. Our mind constantly jumps from one thought to another because of fear of failure. What if I mess up? Perfectionism, it has to be flawless. Lack of clear goals, where do I even start? Mental overload, too many tasks at once. The result? Instead of working deeply, we keep switching between tasks, wasting time and energy. Step 1. Create a distraction-free zone. To enter deep focus, eliminate distractions before you start. Turn off notifications, put your phone on silent or in another room. Use a single workspace. Train your brain to associate this place with work. Set a clear intention. Decide exactly what you'll work on before you begin. By controlling your environment, you make focus the default. Step 2. Use the 30-minute focus rule. Instead of forcing yourself to work for hours, work in short, focused sessions. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Work with full concentration, no multitasking. When time's up, take a 5-minute break. This method prevents burnout and helps you stay sharp. Step 3. Train your brain to stay present. When you work, your mind will try to wander. Instead of fighting it, gently bring your attention back. Try this. If a random thought pops up, write it down for later. If you feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath and refocus. If you feel restless, remind yourself, I only need to focus for a few more minutes. Over time, your focus will get stronger and last longer. Step 4. Set clear, starting rituals. Your brain loves habits, so create a ritual to signal that it's time to focus. Before deep work, try this. Take a deep breath. Repeat a phrase, I'm ready to focus now. Start with a small, easy task too. Build momentum. This trains your brain to shift into deep focus quickly. Step 5. Reward focused work. When you finish a deep work session, give yourself a small reward. Take a short walk. Listen to your favorite song. Enjoy a guilt-free break. This associates focus with pleasure, making it easier to return next time. What's next? Now that you know how to master deep focus, the next step is to eliminate stress and build a relaxed, productive mindset. In the next chapter, we learn how to work without pressure or guilt. So, are you ready to work smarter, not harder? Let's go! Chapter 7. Eliminating Stress. How to work without pressure or guilt. Do you ever feel like work is a constant burden? The stress of deadlines, the guilt of procrastination, the fear of not doing enough? In Chapter 7 of the Now Habit, Neil Fiore reveals how to remove stress and guilt so that work becomes easy, natural, and even enjoyable. Why do we feel stressed about work? Stress doesn't come from work itself, it comes from how we think about work. I have to do this. Feels like pressure. I should be working. Creates guilt. What if I fail? Triggers anxiety. These thoughts make work feel heavy and exhausting. But what if work could feel light, effortless, and even fun? Step 1. Remove the have to mindset. When you tell yourself, I have to do this, your brain sees it as a chore, a burden, something forced on you. This creates resistance and stress. Instead, shift your mindset. I choose to do this. I want to get this done. I prefer to complete this now rather than stress later. This small change removes pressure and makes work feel like a choice rather than an obligation. Step 2. Stop feeling guilty for not working. Most people feel guilty when they're not working, yet they still procrastinate. This creates a toxic cycle, not working feeling guilty still not working. Fiore suggests a radical idea: give yourself guilt-free breaks. When you are working, work fully. When you are resting, rest fully, without guilt. This way, you enjoy both work and relaxation, instead of being stuck in between. Step 3. Focus on what you can control. Many people stress about things outside their control, deadlines set by others, expectations from bosses or clients, unrealistic perfectionism. The secret? Let go of what you can't control and focus only on what you can do right now. You can't control when inspiration strikes. But you can start small, right now. You can't control how people react to your work. But you can give your best effort. By focusing only on your next step, stress melts away. Step 4. Use the 3 wins technique. At the end of each day, write down 3 small wins. I finished an important task. I stayed focused for 30 minutes. I took a guilt-free break and felt refreshed. This shifts your mind from stress to success and builds confidence for the next day. Step 5. Work with a relaxed mindset. Instead of rushing through work with tension, Work with a sense of ease. Breathe deeply. Slow down your thoughts. Tell yourself, I'm doing enough. I'm making progress. The more relaxed you are, the easier work becomes. What's next? Now that you know how to work without stress or guilt, the next step is to develop unstoppable confidence and motivation. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to build a mindset that keeps you moving forward, without self-doubt. So, are you ready to work with ease and flow? Let's go! Chapter 8: Developing Unstoppable Confidence: How to Stay Motivated Without Self-Doubt. You start working on a big task, but suddenly, self-doubt creeps in. Am I good enough? What if I fail? Maybe I should wait until I feel more prepared. In Chapter 8 of The Now Habit, Neil Fiore reveals how to build true confidence so you can stay motivated and take action without fear. Why do we struggle with confidence? Confidence isn't something you are born with, it's something you build. But most people make one big mistake. They believe confidence comes before action. I'll start when I feel ready. I need to be more confident before I try. But in reality, confidence comes from action. The more you take action, the more you build trust in yourself. So instead of waiting for confidence, start before you feel ready. Step 1. Use the action first principle. Instead of thinking, I need confidence first, say, I'll take action and confidence will follow. I don't need to feel ready, I just need to begin. Taking action, even small steps, trains your brain to believe in yourself. And the more you do this, the stronger your confidence grows. Step 2. Break free from the fear of failure. Many people avoid action because they're afraid of failure. But Fiore explains that failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of success. Every mistake teaches you something. Every setback makes you stronger. Every challenge prepares you for future success. Instead of fearing failure, see it as a stepping stone. Try saying, every expert was once a beginner. I don't need to be perfect, I just need to improve. Mistakes help me grow. When you embrace failure, confidence naturally follows. Step 3. Rewire negative self-talk. Confidence is shaped by the way you talk to yourself. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, say, I'm improving every day. I'll probably fail. Say, I learn and adjust as I go. I'm not smart enough. Say, I can figure this out. Your words create your reality, so choose words that empower you. Step 4. Celebrate every small win. Your brain needs proof that you are capable. So every time you make progress, no matter how small, celebrate it. Finished a difficult task? Take a moment to acknowledge it. Stayed focused for 30 minutes? Give yourself credit. Took action despite fear? That's a huge win. Celebrating small wins rewires your brain for confidence and makes motivation automatic. Step 5. Surround yourself with positivity. Confidence is contagious, so surround yourself with people, books, and environments that lift you up. Read inspiring books. Follow people who motivate you. Spend time with supportive friends. The more positivity you absorb, the stronger your mindset becomes. What's next? Now that you know how to build unstoppable confidence, the next step is to turn that confidence into consistent success. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to keep moving forward, even when challenges arise. So, are you ready to take action and trust yourself? Let's go! Chapter 9: Turning Confidence into Consistent Success: How to Keep Moving Forward. You've built confidence, but how do you make sure it lasts? Many people start strong, but then they slow down when motivation fades, challenges arise, or self-doubt returns. In Chapter 9 of The Now Habit, Neil Fiore reveals how to turn short-term confidence into long-term success, so you can keep progressing without losing momentum. Why do people lose momentum? Confidence is not something you build once, it's something you must maintain. But many people lose momentum because of overwhelm, trying to do too much at once. Perfectionism, getting stuck in the details. Burnout, working non-stop without balance. Self-doubt, questioning their abilities after a small setback. To stay on track, you need a system that keeps you moving forward, no matter what. Step 1. Create a success ritual for daily progress. Instead of relying on motivation, which comes and goes, build a simple daily habit that guarantees progress. Try this. Start your day by setting a clear goal. Work in focused 30-minute sessions. End your day by writing down 3 wins. This creates a cycle of success, so you stay consistent even on tough days. Step 2. Focus on the process, not just the results. Many people chase big goals but forget about daily actions. Instead of, I want to write a book, focus on, I will write for 30 minutes today. Instead of, I need to get in shape, focus on, I will exercise for 15 minutes today. Instead of, I must succeed, focus on, I will take one small step forward today. By shifting focus to the process, you remove pressure, so progress becomes automatic. Step 3. Use the bounce back strategy for setbacks. No matter how confident you are, you will face setbacks. The key is how quickly you recover. When you fail or lose momentum, 1. Pause and reflect. What went wrong? 2. Learn from it. What can you do differently next time? 3. Take action immediately, even a small step to get back on track. Success isn't about never falling, it's about bouncing back faster. Step 4. Keep the fun alive. When work feels like a burden, motivation fades. So make your journey enjoyable. Turn work into a game, set challenges and rewards. Change your environment, work in a new place for a fresh mindset. Celebrate small wins, recognize every step forward. The more fun you have, the easier it is to stay consistent. Step 5. Build a long-term vision. Short-term goals keep you moving, but a long-term vision keeps you inspired. Ask yourself, where do I want to be in 1 year? What kind of person do I want to become? What small daily actions will get me there? When you have a clear vision, every small step feels meaningful. What's next? Now that you know how to stay consistent, the next step is to build true freedom, so you can work without pressure and live on your own terms. In the next chapter, we'll learn how to break free from external expectations and create a lifestyle of success. So, are you ready to stay confident and unstoppable? Let's go! Chapter 10. Creating True Freedom: How to Work on Your Own Terms Without Pressure. Imagine a life where you work without stress, stay productive without guilt, and achieve success without feeling trapped by deadlines or expectations. In Chapter 10 of The Now Habit, Neil Fiore reveals how to create true freedom, so you can work in a way that feels natural, enjoyable, and completely on your own terms. Why do we feel trapped by work? Most people don't struggle because of work itself, they struggle because of how they approach work. They feel forced to work, which creates resistance. They feel guilty when resting, which leads to burnout. They rely on deadlines, which causes last-minute stress. But what if work could feel freeing instead of frustrating? Step 1. Shift from I have to work to I choose to work. When you tell yourself, I have to finish this, your brain sees it as a burden. This triggers procrastination. Instead, use the power of choice. I choose to work on this now. I want to complete this so I can relax later. I prefer to finish early rather than stress at the last minute. This removes pressure, so work feels lighter and easier. Step 2. Design a guilt-free work-life balance. Most people believe, if I'm not working, I'm wasting time. But Fiore argues that true productivity includes rest. Try this balanced approach. 1. Work with focus, short, intense sessions. 2. Rest with freedom, completely guilt-free. 3. Repeat the cycle, without stress or pressure. When you allow yourself to fully enjoy breaks, you return to work refreshed and more productive. Step 3. Escape the deadline trap. Many people rely on pressure-driven deadlines to get work done. But this creates stress because they wait until the last moment. Low-quality work because they rush to finish. Burnout because they constantly work under pressure. Instead, replace I need a deadline to work with starting early in small steps. Creating mini deadlines before the actual deadline. rewarding yourself for early progress. This way, you finish work on time, without stress. Step 4. Build an enjoyable productivity mindset. Instead of seeing work as something to get through, make it something you look forward to. Work in inspiring spaces, coffee shops, parks, quiet rooms. Use fun techniques, background music, challenges, rewards. Celebrate small wins, acknowledge progress daily. The more enjoyable you make the process, the easier it becomes to stay productive. Step 5. Create a life of freedom and success. True freedom isn't about avoiding work, it's about working in a way that supports the life you want. Ask yourself, how do I want my ideal work-life balance to feel? What habits will help me work without stress? What small actions can I take today to build this lifestyle? By making small, intentional changes, you can create a life where work feels effortless and success comes naturally. What's next? This chapter marks the final transformation from procrastination and pressure to freedom and flow. You now have the tools to work productively, stay confident, and create success without stress or guilt. So, are you ready to take control of your time and design a life of true freedom? Let's go! You've reached the end of the now habit, but in reality, this is just the beginning. Throughout this book, we've uncovered the truth about procrastination. It's not laziness, but a reaction to fear, pressure, and perfectionism. We've learned powerful techniques to break free, take action, and work without stress or guilt. Now, imagine applying these strategies to your daily life. Instead of delaying tasks, you take immediate action with ease. Instead of waiting for motivation, you create unstoppable momentum. Instead of feeling trapped by work, you experience true freedom. This is not just a productivity system, it's a complete mindset shift. You now have the power to work on your own terms, build confidence, and create a lifestyle of success. The journey doesn't end here. It's time to apply what you've learned and step into your most productive, fulfilling life. About Audiobook World, bringing the best books to life. Welcome to Audiobook World, your destination for the most powerful book summaries in crystal clear, engaging audio format. We believe that great books have the power to change lives, but not everyone has the time to read hundreds of pages. That's why we bring you deep, well-structured summaries that capture the core lessons, strategies, and mindset shifts from the world's best books. Whether you want to master productivity, success, psychology, or personal growth, Audiobook World is here to guide you. So, if you found this audiobook valuable, subscribe to Audiobook World and keep learning with us. Your next life-changing book is just one play away.